of countless historical matches before, will play host to another important fixture. This clash is between GMSC and Chanmari FC, who will be playing out an important fixture, who will be playing out an all-important draw to ensure that one of these two teams get their noses ahead in what has so far been a dampened start. A quick look at the starting 11 for GMSC: Paramjeet Baghel under the sticks, Umesh Pirambra, Sujal Ghanekar, Shannon Pereira, Alan Joseph Dias, Himanshu Patil, Keegan Pereira, their captain. Well, that's the substitutes: Manoj, Durvesh, Tejas, Tanmay, Praveen, Jay, Saurabh, Manuel, Kamran and Rajendra Swain. Quick look at their warm-up, and they will definitely try and put their best foot forward. Before we go forward into the game, let's quickly hear what their coach, Henry Selvan Picado, Vijit Sudhakar Sethi, had to say before this important fixture.
Well, thank you for having me here. The first plan is get at least a point. We are here to take each game at a time. So this is what we are looking at, because we played Chanmari in group games. We know the strength and also the weaknesses of theirs. So we're looking at a point here. If we get a point, nothing like it.
And your team today?
The team, we've got two changes as to what we have played in Aizawl. We bought in Alan as an experienced guy, and we bought in Sujal. The two new changes that have that we brought into the game is only because of strategy. I mean, tactical wise, to get a point each from this point game. Thank you so much.
Well, you heard from the man himself. It was Henry Selvan Picado. A quick look at Chanmari starting lineup: Zotan Moia, Ephraim Lalwin Chana Tochong, Lalmin Sanga Ke Lalkom Puia, and Lalrom Kima, KC Malsamanga, Malsum Zuala, and Lalwin Chana Tochong, their captain. And that's their warm-up scenes. They also have some decent strength up in their substitutes. And leading them by the sidelines, from the sidelines, is Lalsang Zuala Hamar. We'll quickly hear what he had to say ahead of this all-important fixture.
Yeah, this is a new ground. In the previous, the match was between against this team in Aizawl. It is our hometown. At the same time, the ground also, it is our artificial turf. Here is a natural, and the weather condition maybe it will change with different. So anyway, we have plan. Then we'll see.
And your team today?
Yeah, good.
Well, you heard from the man himself. Both the coaches with kind of a different mindset. Henry Selvan Picado, he said that he is first looking for a point. That's more than important to him. And the other coach, Lalsang Zuala Hamar, he said that they are hopeful of creating what can be a victorious outing for themselves. Both the teams have played each other in the group stages. They were a part of Group C. Chanmari FC qualified as the table toppers in Group C. 4 matches, 4 victories, 12 points. GMSC, 4 matches, 2 wins and a draw and a defeat. So 7 points is what they could manage, and as a result, they were out here and qualified with all the desired results. And the two captains will be out here for the toss shortly enough. Leading the likes of GMSC is Keegan Pereira. quite an experienced name in the defensive echelons, and leading Chanmari FC is Lalwin Chanatochong. Once again, just to give you all a quick heads up about the starting 11 of both the sides. For GMSC, it's Umesh Perambra, Sujal Jitendra Ghanekar, Shannon Pereira, Alan Joseph Dias, Imanshu Patil, Keegan Pereira, their skipper, Siddhartha Vishwanath Naik, Vidit Dua, Abhijit Taware, Paramjit Baghel, and Palash Barber. On the bench, they've also got a few good names. They've got the likes of Manoj Gupta, Dhurvesh Nijam, Tejas Rao, Tanmay Dayanand, Talgaonkar, Praveen Kumawat, Jay Bhavnani, Saurabh Nikam, Manuel D'Souza, Kamran Atiq Ansari, Rajendra Swain. And for Chanmari FC, once again, they've got the likes of Isanga, Lalko Puimoia, K. Lalruatika, Ephraim Lalrem Chulunga, Vincent Lalduama, Zotan Moia, Joseph Lalrukima, KC Malsam Sanga, Malsam Zuala, and Lalrichana Tuchong, their captain. And on the bench, they've got the likes of Lalwen Gangte, Moses Lalwin Zuala, K. Lalman Ikima, J. Lalruat Sanga, John Lalrem Puya Silo, Simon Lalta Zuala Hamar, A. Van Lalrem Ruata, and Sena Ralde. Now, just to give you all a quick heads up about how they started their campaign, Chanmari FC, they started their campaign with a 3-1 victory against Coromandel FC. It was John Lalwin Puya Silo, Joseph Lalvin Hima, and Lalko Puimoia to find the back of the net for Chanmari FC. Attacking on your frame from the left to the right, dressed in their white and red, is GMSC. And attacking on your frame from the right to the left, dressed in their black, is Chanmari FC, and it is Chanmari FC who gets us underway. Mapuya with the kickoff, and straight away a crossfield delivery, hoping for one of their players to latch onto it, but then after a bit of a scrappy exchange, the ball went out of play. A bit of an early collision as well. Let's just hope that he's alright. Quick throw taken. He's back on his feet, which is always good to see. GMSC from the left. Square passes being played. Palash. Back with the pass is created once again. All the way back to their goalkeeper, Zotan Moia. Zotan steers it towards the left. Not really rushing through, just starting the game on a reticent note, just trying to fathom what the opposition is up to. All the way to Ephraim. Ephraim taking his time. Sends another crossfield ball forward, but straight into the hands of the opposition goalkeeper, Paramjit. And he will collect that without breaking a sweat. Rolls it over for his teammate Umesh. Umesh sends it forward, nicely received, keeps it under control, trying to break free. Once again, Umesh under a bit of a pump and eventually decides to take the ball out of the contest, because that's going to be very, very important. They cannot afford to concede early. Then it can be a real bit of trouble brewing on the horizon for them. Yes, Chanmari FC, but that has been intercepted. Short passes, and now GMSC trying to create something for themselves, bombing through that left wing. That's a phenomenal run, but then eventually had to pull himself back. The last time these two teams met was on 9th of September and Chanmari FC managed to secure a victory by a solitary goal. It was MS Dongliana with that solitary strike that came on the 81st minute, separating these two sides. So the only defeat that GMSC has so far suffered in I-League 3 2024-25 is against Chanmari FC. And now from the left, Chanmari trying to create something. Joseph on the ball. Joseph looking for a bit of support. Joseph goes in for the cross, but nicely repelled away by Palash once again. Palash had already had an active day, had a couple of clearances, but that's the first corner of the afternoon. And it's going to be taken by KC Malsom Sangha. 3 minutes so far. So obviously it goes without saying that Chanmari FC will try and draw first blood. They will not like to keep things until the very late, like the last time these two teams met. And here's the corner, floated, had a nice bit of curl on it, but then it eventually eluded everyone and landed on the top netting of the goal once again. The idea was right, there was nothing wrong with it. He was trying to go for that far post, hoping to create an Olympico. We have seen a crazy goal in the first game already. A rainbow flick from outside the box, finding its way to the back of the net for Abbas Union when they were battling a fierce battle against Dalbir Football Academy. So we will hope for more goals like that. We will hope for more crazy strikes, more powerful and substantial ones that can make this tournament one to savor. Small short passes again. Nicely played forward. Turns around. And now plays it all the way back. Trying to extend the midfield for themselves. Yeah. Shannon Pereira. Shannon loses out the possession. And now Chanmari FC with another lovely ball forward. It's a bit of a tussle there, and the goalkeeper eventually doing a pretty decent job of shielding the ball with his body. That was good work by Paramjeet Baghel. And a nice little chase out there from Mapuia. He was on his toes. He knew that he had to put the pressure. And that is why Chanmari FC are extremely dangerous. You give them a whiff of slacking in that final third and they will punish you unforgivably. And here's Chanmari once again. Nicely controlling the ball amongst themselves, and the referee laying down the law on this occasion, awarding a free kick for Chanmari FC. Looks like it was their captain who went down, Lalran Chana Tochong. Not really, that wasn't Lalran Chana. Nonetheless, a free kick. Another opportunity here for Chanmari to try and get their noses ahead. Free kick sent towards the far left. And here comes a lovely cross in the box there from Ephraim. And that has been repelled away by GMSC. Good alert defending. That's what you really love to witness. And now another long ball, GMSC trying to break free from the right. It was a long chase for Sujal Ghanekar. And Sujal has eventually won the ball back for himself. And he has won a corner as well for GMSC. That's the first corner of the day for GMSC. We can call it kind of against the turn of the play. But at the end of the day, football is about those predatory instincts. When you know that you have an opportunity and you put it to bed. It looks like it's going to be their captain, Keegan Pereira. And obviously it goes without saying, Keegan Pereira is one of the top players of the side, and no wonder he has been shouldered with the responsibility of flipping that corner in. GMSC, they will be banking upon the likes of Himanshu Patil, their top goal scorer with 6 goals already. An overpowered corner and a collision in the box, forcing the referee to blow his whistle there, which means it's going to be a goal kick, or rather a free kick in favour of Chanmari FC, because that was a foul. Takes it along the carpet. Vincent Lalduama, he's also got 4 goals for himself, and he's from Chanmari FC. So obviously he will try and hope that he can get himself on the score sheet as well. Hit that 5th goal. Brian once again has made good use of that left wing. Makoya losing out possession and a bit of a high press there from Chanmari. But GMSC does well to take the ball away from their counterparts. Nice turn. And now coming in from the right, GMSC can be a chance here. Abhijit waiting for more men to arrive. Sujal with a cross, and a delightful one at that, but nicely blocked by Chanmari FC. Attacking intent now being shown by both sides. Now coming in from the left, Joseph looking for help. Help does arrive. Malsong Sanga steers it towards the right. Another flatter cross in the box, but dealt with by GMSC defenders. And looks like while Chanmari FC, they were trying to penetrate with the ball must have crossed the bounds. And it's the captain of GMSC, Keegan Pereira, who's gone down. He'll need a bit of treatment. He is in visible discomfort. The video walking out into the center, not entirely sure what exactly happened out there. You know, as they say that football is a body contact game, so there will be time, there will be situations where it's very unintentional from your counterpart, but then you end up popping blows which can actually be damning enough. And you can already see how Lalsang Zuala Hamar, he's extremely animated. That's the coach of GMSC actually, Vijit Sudhakar Shetty. A few moments ago, the man who was on the frame, pretty animated, pretty lively. It was Lalsang Zuala Hamar, the coach of Chanmari FC. And the game resumes after a brief halt. And it's going to be Chanmari to play it amongst themselves. As they come from the back. Decent work. Blocked there by GMSC. And that has been traded away for a throw-in. Another opportunity for Chanmari FC. The question is, will they go for a long throw here? That's the question mark. They've got Ephraim out there, but once again looks like another player. He's also not really feeling comfortable. Make no mistake, it was gloomy and overcast in the morning, but now it's back to hot and humid. The sun may not be predominantly out, but the humidity is through the roofs down here in the city of Joy. And that really leaves the players gasping for breath. That leaves the players susceptible to risks of cramps and dehydration, so that can really be challenging. It may be 11 minutes on the clock, but for the players who are already plying their trade out in the centre, it leaves them in visible risk of injuring themselves due to that humidity. It's not easy, it isn't just the ball, and oh, that is a very careless error there. This should have been better, and a quick word of acknowledgement, but looks like the goalkeeper of GMSC has also gone down, Paramjit Baghel, and now he is having a bit of a trouble out there. Umesh Peramra, he almost conceded possession at a very vulnerable juncture, and that could have been the opening goal only if Chanmari FC would have taken their chances, but sadly enough that was not the case. and eventually, much to the relief of Umesh Peramra, that was taken care of. And if Umesh, it's understandable, he's a young player, he needs a lot of experience going up, but these are the moments that will teach him that what are the mistakes that you cannot do on a football yard, particularly in a juncture like that. When you're not confident, it's always recommendable that you have to clear the lines, particularly when you're close enough to that 6-yard box. Now from the right. Once again, it was GMSC who was trying to break free. A good run, to be honest, from Sujal. And not the first time. Sujal once again. And now it's Palash. Palash sends it forward. But Sujal would not have made it because he was kind of shielded very confidently there by Ephraim. And he had a bit of mimicry of Sujal as well. A very young lad. Extremely aggressive and definitely very passionate as well. And I think, when you're passionate, when you're trying to look at your foe in the eyes, you will have moments like these coming up. But yes, make no mistake, when it comes to defending that left wing, when it comes to going on the overlaps, Ephraim can be a real pain for his oppositions. And now from the right, Chanmari FC. Small short passes intercepted. Back with GMSC again, and GMSC, they do well. Now through the central channel, squares off towards the right. Sujal again. Sujal plays it back. A bit of confusion, but eventually Palash takes care of it. All the way back to Shannon Pereira. Shannon switches it towards the left. Looked like it was Egan Pereira out there. Plays it forward. 1v2, and eventually in the process, GMSC, they will concede possession. Back with Chanmari FC again. They switch the ball towards the right. And the referee blowing the whistle. It's going to be throw-in for GMSC. Even for GMSC, they have kind of come a long way here. It wasn't the easiest of outings for them either. But when they did come forward, that was absolutely incredible. The entire journey that they had, it was sensational. This can be an opportunity, a ball in the box there. But again, very good goalkeeping from Paramjeet Baghel. Coming out just in the nick of time. And you have to time those outings to perfection. GMSC started their campaign in I-League 2024-25 with a 1-1 draw against Hal Sports Club. It was Shreyash Vatekar who secured that lead for Hal, and eventually in the 97th minute, GMSC equalized through Himanshu Patil. And that tells you they are a team that you can never take lightly. They will keep on fighting till the very end. That is why they are out here. That is why they have qualified for the playoffs of I-League 3. And in the second game, they went on to trump over Coromandel FC 4-0. There was a sensational display. Himanshu Patil scored a brace, but it was Shannon Pereira who opened the scoring to themselves, and Vidit Dua found the back of the net as well. There's another chance for Chanmari coming in from the right. Will there be a potential cross coming in? Looking around for a few options. Oh, a nice ball in the box there, and an ambitious side volley taken. But that floats over the bar. It was Lal Rokima with that effort from just outside, just a yard outside the penalty box. And shots like these, they aren't easy. What he was trying to do actually wasn't exactly play that side volley, try and hammer that into the net. What he was trying to do is just give it some elevation, hoping that the ball would just bobble in front of the goalkeeper, creating a bit of confusion. Because ideally in situations like these, if the ball drops in front of the goalkeeper, it's a bit of a trick for him to control. And now GMSC coming in from the left, and the long ranger, which is extremely masculated to say the least, out of contention without any trouble whatsoever. Or looks like it's actually taken a deflection along the way, and that's going to be a corner here for GMSC. An opportunity for them to try and figure out if they are able to crack open the gates. Here comes the corner from GMSC, but nicely blocked away. Still with GMSC. Steers away towards the far left. And the lovely ball in the box there, opportunity. But that goes begging. It was slightly higher than the player who was stationed at the far right. Would have been a amazing chance, to be honest, but nonetheless, that went begging. Now Chanmari comes in from the right. Steers it towards that central channel. Plays it even further right. Keeps it under control, not really rushing through. And a lovely ball in the box. Potential danger brewing out there. And eventually the referee blowing the whistle. Looks like the flag has gone off. Yeah, there was a bit of a push out there, and referee quickly pointing it out towards the assistant referee, saying that it's going to be a free kick in favour of GMSC. Paramjit Baghel had a couple of tests already for him, and quite a stern ones, quite a few stern ones actually. Just come up with flying colours. Intercepted then. Loses out on possession. All the way back to Chanmari, playing it amongst themselves, keeping it calm, keeping it cool enough. And I think that's the key component of both these sides. None of them actually rushes through. They know that they have the ability to score. They have the firepower that is needed. So what they do is they try and keep on pressing. They try and soak in the early storm from their counterparts. That is kind of a similar gameplay, similar playing style for both these teams. And a bit of an injury because you saw almost slamming into his counterpart there. It was Alan Joseph Dias, another experienced name in the likes of GMSC, as pointed out by Henry Selvan Picado. And I think Henry Selvan Picado, he made it very clear. The first target is going to be a point. From there on, if he sees the team firing on all cylinders, that is when they will be looking forward. They will be leapfrogging for those 3 points, all hearts blazing. And that's a good show of sportsman spirit, because at the end of the day, what matters is that everyone is safe and sound. He got to blow onto his cheeks there. Can be quite a ringing one altogether. Alan Joseph Dias throws it in. Back to captain Keegan Pereira. Keegan again. Apologies, that was Umesh. Another forward ball, and it goes out of play. Slow and shorter passes, which are being knitted together, taking their time, twisting and twirling. 22 minutes on the clock, and we are still to find out any one of those categorical openings. Yes, both the teams have come mighty close, but when it comes to that final touch, that exactly hasn't been the case out here. Bit of a scrappy header, nicely dealt with by Chanmari, apologies, by GMSC. Still a bit of lackluster play, a bit of a cagey affair until now here at the Kalyani Football Stadium. Coming in from the left, GMSC trying to open up the gates out here from the left, and a push from the back. Referee says that's absolutely fine. And it's going to be a throw in here in favour of Chanmari FC. Will take their time here, controlling the tempo, not playing the unnecessary fast and pacey game that can throw themselves into trouble. They are taking their time, that's more important. Shannon Pereira, knows he's going to be one of the mainstays of the side, so he'll have to marshal his troops around him as well in the midfield. One of those experienced midfield generals for GMSC. Plays it all the way back to their goalkeeper now, Sultan Moia, and Sultan steers it towards the right. Another crossfield ball intercepted, that falls back for Chanmari, and looks like GMSC will eventually regain possession of that. Nice short balls, they played nice short crisp passes amongst themselves. Umesh sends it further forward, and that has been traded away for a throw-in in favour of GMSC. Balash with the throw-in. And not the best of return ball there was. Balash, he could have played it back to Balash himself. It was Himanshu Patil. Now ideally Himanshu Patil, he may be one of the leading goal scorers, but when it comes to, like, if for a moment he feels that he is caged, and he kind of switches off completely. This is something that he has to be very, very careful about. Free kick for Chanmari FC, it's their captain, Lalvin Chanatochong. Plays it to Sultan. Sultan steers it forward onto the right. Another long ball take forward, eludes everyone in the process, and cleared away by GMSC just in the nick of time at the expense of a throw-in. Ibrahim. GMSC kind of desperate to clear their lines. It's going to be a throw-in in their favour. And Balash, he's looked decent so far. Gone on a couple of overlaps. He's shown the intent, and when it's come back to covering his own yards, it's actually been decent enough. And that's going to be another throw-in here in favour of Chanmari FC. A bit of a scrappy play out right now. Slightly confusing. Both the teams not really confident of going forward. They're taking their time. They're just trying to gauge their opposition, waiting for their counterparts to make the first move. And I think both the teams, they know that their opposition can be actually hefty if they come forward knocking on the doors with all possible attacking options. And that's well done. There's a lovely ball in the box, an opportunity for Chanmari FC, but the header has gone just above the wood for a lovely cross there from the left. Take a look at that run, phenomenal from Ephraim once again. And what a way to meet that as well from KC Malsomsonga. But sadly enough, he couldn't really keep the ball down. Induced a bit of elevation, and it's going to be a water break for these two sides. Well, if we take a look, if we unpick the first 27 minutes of the game, will figure out that the teams have actually shown intensity and urgency in terms of creating chances, but not that final touch, not the menace that you would expect them to drop in the center. A quick look at the replay so far, and then that was the cross there from Ephraim from the left. A lovely ball out there in the box, and a decent header as well from Casey Malsom Sanga. But then, given the fact that his body was already in motion, he couldn't really control the trajectory of the ball, and that is why it floated just above the woodwork. Still 15 minutes of action remaining in the first half. Back at Chanmari once again, playing it all the way from the back, trying to control that. Nicely headed it into his stride there. And now from the left, it's Joseph. Joseph looking for support. Plays it forward, and that was a risky delivery because ideally, if you are trying to get the ball into the stride of the player who's already behind your counterparts, that won't really work out because there's too much of ground to cover, and in such short distance, in such short bursts, no matter how quick the player is, it's always a challenge, and eventually the ball went out of play, resulting in a goal kick in favor of GMSC. They're playing it amongst themselves, and now it's Paramjit Baghel who is mapping out his options. Goes downtown. Should be comfortable enough for Lalvin Chana Tochon. All the way back to Sultan. Sultan again. They are now trading on pretty dangerous waters. Thankfully enough, no damage was done. They were making life a bit of a contraption for themselves in the opposition box. And with the opposition sniffing around your neck, you shouldn't be playing. Let's take a look at the free kick here. Yeah, that was a very clear push coming in from Lal Rokima on the Siddharth Nayak. Another free kick, and it's going to be Keegan Pereira with the free kick. You can see a little furry friend behind the post. He's come out for his evening walk. Plays it along the ground. Umesh Peramra. Umesh sends it forward, and a good catch by Sultan Moia. Makes no mistake and latching onto it. Now Chanmari from the right. Nice ball forward. And a crisp touch coming in all the way. From the right, can Chanmari use this chance to their advantage? And just making life a little more complicated for themselves. Could have been better. Nonetheless, shooting chance, and drags it wide. That was a sudden burst of brilliance there from Chanmari FC, suddenly trying to probe the opposition goalkeeper Paramjit Baghel. It was a wonderful strike, to be honest, from Lal Rokima, but Lal Rokima couldn't really keep that on target. They are still to witness the opening goal of the game so far. Half an hour has passed through. In the first match that happened between Abbas Union and Dalby Football Academy, it was the 33rd minute that saw the deadlock being broken for the first time, and that too through a penalty. It's going to be a free kick here in favor of GMSC. A bit of a physical football so far. Keegan Pereira. On the ball. Keegan taking his time. Keegan not really going forward. as he's certain of his players' placements, but eventually the free kick that was wasted. And Chanmari FC will clear their lines. They won't really like to have the ball in their own half lingering around, particularly with the opposition defenders. Just a few moments ago, it was a decent exchange that was played between Lalvin Chanatuchong and Zoltan Moia, and eventually it was Zoltan Moia who cleared the danger lines for his team. Throw in taken by Palash. Back to Palash again. Palash chips it forward, nicely chested down. Can this be an opportunity here for GMSC? They're looking for the numerical support. It wasn't there. It's a massive gap between that between that midfield rather, and the attacking line. I mean, they were far behind, and as a result, what could have actually been a categorical chance in their favor fizzled out into thin air. I think when you are coming into attack, you really need to come together as a unit. Your defenders also need to respond so that that gap between the midfield and the attacking unit and the attacking echelons, that is being bridged. You have more numbers when you are eventually pulling the trigger. That will give you a more categorical chance of creating something significant. And here comes Chanmari, a lovely ball and the opening goal of this game. And it arrived in the 34th minute. A sensational delivery from the left and a picture-perfect finish from KC Malsom Sangha, whose header went wide a few moments ago. This is where they are so dangerous. Take a look at that assist from the left. It was Mapuia. Took a deflection along the way. And KC Malsom Sangha, he was exactly where he was supposed to be. Finds himself at the receiving end as if gifted on a silver platter. And he was not going to let it slide. Stepped up and the first touch, the golden strike, poked the ball into the back of the net, giving that slender cushion to Chanmari FC once again. And now GMSC, they have a mountain to climb. Haven't really seen that urgency and intensity from both the sides, but that moment of individual brilliance has so far been the difference between the two sides. Palash sends it forward. The tussle for the ball still goes on. And now Sujal from the left. From the right, apologies, back to Palash. Palash plays it central. Siddharth on the ball. Back to their captain, Keegan. Keegan plays it further forward. Now from the left, trying to make headway, trying to sniff out that equalizer. Siddharth again. Siddharth plays it back to Umesh. Umesh with a lovely touch. Palash, he's now gone a lot more central. Back to Siddharth. Siddharth with a long ranger, but that was never going to be a threat for the opposition goalkeeper, Zoltan Moia, as it sails out of the park. 36 minutes on, it's Chanmari FC 1, GMSC 0. Again, when we talk about the technicalities, when we talk about the tactical prowess of both the sides, both have been pretty much even Stevens, but time and time again, those occasional bursts of splendor from Chanmari FC, they have actually worked out wonders. And exactly from a moment like that, they found that opening goal. Plays it all the way back to Zoltan Moria. Zoltan sends it forward, hoping to find one of his players onto the left. Coming in from the left now, GMSC trying to keep the possession at them. That's a decent bit of footwork altogether, but eventually couldn't really conjure the desired momentum. Was Vidit Dua, who was denied an entrance. Referee wanted to give advantage, but looks like he has decided. But he's going to give the free kick in favor of GMSC. It's their captain again, Keegan Pereira. 7 minutes of regulation time remaining before we get those additional minutes into play. Yes, Keegan, he'll wait. He's not looking forward to rush through. The referee just calming things down as well. Bit of chaos in the box. Prime, always excited, always animated, always lively enough, and take a look at how he's manning with it to do up. Here's Keegan, hoping to send in a proper cross. Not the best of crosses, to be honest. Kind of send it miles away. Umesh Peramra couldn't really make hay of that chance. It goes out of play for a goal kick. Back to the Prime. Prime sends it downtown. Straight into the hands of Paramjit Baghel. He won't have any trouble wrapping his gloves around the ball. Rolls it back. Short passes amongst themselves now. GMSC, they'll have to show the urgency because they are the ones trailing right now. Truth be told, we are still not sure of what that strategy is. I mean, it's understandable that they have the tendency to score later in the dying embers of the game, but that won't just get them what they are looking forward to. They will have to play, they will have to try and score at the earliest possible so that they have enough leeway for themselves to get that winning goal if they are looking forward to it. Possibly try and play a different tempo to offset Chanmari MC. Because both the teams are now playing in a similar tempo, so which means both the teams are comfortable enough playing in the way that they are. From the left again. Siddharth loses out possession, loses out his shape. The referee laying down the law, awarding a free kick here to GMSC. Yeah, that was definitely a yank from the back. And quite a substantial one as well. A nice ball off to the right for GMSC. Balash tries to go for the cross into the box, but sadly enough, it didn't really have enough. Now from the right, trying to open up the space. And eventually the final touch came off one of those Chanmari FC's players. And it's going to be a goal kick. Let's take a look there. Yeah, while he was trying to actually outpace his marker, it was Vincent who was trying to create that space for himself. That was definitely not going to be the case. Now plays it towards that far right. Couldn't really make much about it. Here comes Chanmari once again. A decent first touch, yes, but kind of ran into traffic on that occasion. Not the most glamorous clearance there. Trouble brewing on the horizon. Is it? Takes a hit on the back of his head. Looks like he's absolutely fine. He'll get back up. It was Mapuya. He's donned his headgear back on, which is very, very important for him, as it looks like. Because ideally we have seen in recent times footballers wearing masks and wearing the headgears just in order to ensure that they are protecting themselves from the unwanted concussions. This is another lovely ball here. Can Chanmari FC make something of it? Plays it towards the far left. Ibrahim. He's come a long way forward. Malsam Zuwala. There's another opportunity brewing, and the long ranger sent in by Joseph, but that went alright. Another goal kick in favor of GMSC. Still a lot of work to be done for both the sides. Chanmari FC, despite having that slender cushion, we know that that slender cushion is never ever safe. You always have to have an insurance goal in your favor in order to breathe a sigh of reprieve. A one goal cushion can be snuffed out in a heartbeat. You won't even realize. In the blink of an eye, you will find the ball imbricated into the back of the net, and there goes your lead. Poof. So that is why it is very, very important. Well, that was a risky pass once again. GMSC, they really need to be careful before playing those risky passes, because if one thing that Chanmari has done very well, that is sniffing out the chances. The predatory instincts are at an all-time high. Balash is it? No. It's Shannon Pereira. Shannon sends the cross in the box there. And danger line still not clear. Falls back for GMSC from the right. Shannon again. Shannon goes for another cross. Zoltan steps up and parries that away to safety. Not for long. Siddharth vying for the ball and will eventually win it back. That's a good footwork altogether. Final minute of the regulation time. Taking a bit too much of risk than expected. Kind of walking into those contraptions themselves. Let's just hope that they do not concede from them. Here's Ephraim from the left. Fine run. And now sets up one of his teammates who does well. It was Malsam Zuala. Ephraim, another cross comes in. Back to Ephraim. Ephraim plays it back to Malsam Zuala. Malsam Zuala all the way back now to his captain Lalrin Chana. 2 minutes of additional time given. Another lovely ball forward. Keeps that under control. Looks like these 120 seconds that has been added on can actually be troublesome. Nicely keeps that in play. A decent exchange between themselves. Ephraim again. Ephraim goes for a curler in the box, but straight into the hands of Paramjeet. He'll come out and he'll collect that without making much of a fuss. Oh, that was not needed. That was so not needed. And I think straight away he went forward to apologize. It was not intentional there, Lal Rokima. He didn't even waste a single second out there. He went forward to apologize, and even his captain as well, Lalvin Chana Tochong, he was quick there. Just calm things down to pacify things. And now tempers flaring out here. They need to be a bit careful. Alan Joseph Dias, he's a senior player. I think what these players didn't notice is that Lal Rokima, let's take a look at this. There we go. He was fouled, and this hand slammed straight into Himanshu Patil, and Lal Rokima was actually quick to apologize. He went instantly to Himanshu and said that was not intentional. And I think you can take a look at how Lalvin Chana Tochang is explaining it to his counterparts. It wasn't intentional, and the referee just letting go of Lal Rokima with a verbal warning. It's understandable that again, youngsters losing their tempers a bit happens. That is why they are still apart, they are still learning. And it's not just youngsters. I think in situations like these, ideally what happens is if you are in the firing line of the ball, it can be risky because you never know where you're going to pop the blow. Another free kick here for GMSC. And it's Keegan Pereira with the free kick. Keegan launches it forward. Headed away to safety by Chanmari. go with for GMSC. We have 2 minutes of added time, a bit of extension going on because of that unfortunate incident that unfurled a few seconds ago. And GMSC keep that in play. And the referee blowing the whistle of the first half. Not the most dynamic or the most explosive ones, but truth be told, when it comes to finding the back of the net, Chanmari FC have already got their name on the score sheet through the likes of KC Malsom Sangha. A quick look at the statistics: 46% ball possession for GMSC and 54 for Chanmari. 5 shots, out of which one of them on target for Chanmari. None of the 2 shots on target for GMSC. One offside for Chanmari, a couple of corners for GMSC. A quick look at the highlights of the game, or at the highlights of the first half. An intriguing first 45 minutes, despite not having much of technical brilliance in front of us. Both the teams, they kind of squeezed themselves out. They were quick to sense out the opportunities. They were quick to come together and make those moves. This was a brilliant chance, a glorious opportunity that could have been poked into the back of the net, and another stunning hit. And then this lovely chance. Mapuya creating that ball, took a deflection along the way and wonderfully poked home by KC Malsom Sangha, who made no mistake in getting the ball into the back of the net from point blank range. And a few lackluster efforts went begging. And with this, we'll come to the end of the first half. As things stand, Chanmari FC 1, MYJ GMSC 0. It's KC Malsom Sangha who scored in the 34th minute. We'll dive into a short breather and return shortly with the second half of the contest. Stay tuned, everyone. Hello, everyone. We welcome you back for another half, another 45 minutes of exciting action. It's a very slender lead that Chanmari FC has managed to secure in the first half. And now, as we arrive in the final 45 minutes of action, it is going to be interesting to see who comes out on top in what can be a dynamic fixture featuring two of the best sides. GMSC with their war cries happening, just petting themselves, stroking themselves up. And after the customary shuffle, we are underway here at Kalyani Stadium for the second half. And a quick confirmation, a substitution has happened for GMSC. Tanmay Dayanand Talgaonkar has made his way to the center, and Vidit Dua has been taken off. There's another change as well. That is Jay Bhavnani as being introduced into the mix, and he has taken the place of Abhijit Kohare. So with these two changes, obviously it goes without saying, Henry Selvan Picardo and Vijit Sethi, they will be hoping to get that equalizer in place at the earliest. And Chanmari will be defending for their lives if they are not able to find the insurance goal. 45 minutes to settle the fate, whether the scoreline remains the same or do we have more goals coming in from both the sides. That definitely will be a question which will need some answering. Throw in Joseph with the throw in, and there's the confirmation. Vidit Dua went out. Tanmay Dayanand made his way to the center. Tanmay Dayanand Talgaonkar. Chanmari coming in from the left, and the referee blowing the whistle, awarding a free kick here in favor of GMSC. GMSC still just slow with the proceedings right now. They don't want to get into that quick mode of succession. Abhijit Taware, man who went out, was being replaced by Jay Bhavnani. So two substitutions at the half time. Let's see if these two changes can actually bring about a shift in the fortunes of Chanmari FC. Apologies, a shift in the fortunes of GMSC. And it's Ephraim, once again, who's been pretty active in that left wing. Gets a long throw and just across that halfway mark. And here's GMSC now trying to step up. That's very well done. Can be a goal scoring opportunity, looking for space there. Eventually squares off, and the idea was to try and play a 1-2 exchange. It was Himanshu Patil who was trying to create that move, but then a bit of a heavy touch took the ball away from Himanshu. And again a bit of collision, and the referee once again blowing the whistle, awarding a free kick from a pretty decent juncture. It looked like it was who was fouled there. Yeah, it was Vincent who was taken down by Alan Joseph Diaz, rather. And a free kick from a pretty good position here for Chanmari FC. It's going to be the goal scorer, Somsang KC Malsomsanga. Can he get a brace to his name? Or the idea is to try and launch it into the box, use this as a springboard. Launches it into the box, an opportunity, but eludes everyone in the process. Danger's not over, however. Chanmari still has the possession at their feet. Coming in from the left there. Goes further left. Looking for a bit of space. Tries to steer the cross in. and a gentle push from behind. The referee laying down the law. And I think, again, not really happy with the decision there, Himanshu Patil. He's trying to tell the referee, Mr. Jairul Islam, that possibly it can be better. And Jairul Islam, he is one of the senior campaigners when it comes to being the match officials. 5 minutes already in the second half, and still to see some clear intent from both the sides. Back with Chanmari again. Another long ball, and Paramjeet, he had to come a long way out. This can be trouble brewing for him. Thankfully, he was just back in the nick of time, and what a terrific strike again! A gentle, delicate chip, executed with clinical precision, has allowed Chanmari FC to double their cushion. And this time it's Lal Rokima who's found the back of the net. This is what happens when you do not track back in time. What a placement! It will be written out in the stars. That was the quality, the gentry of that chip. Delicate, featherweight, and yet into the back of the net. And now GMSC, they will have a mountain to climb. A wonderful strike there from Lal Rokima has allowed Chanmari to now be in the driver's seat. Paramjeet Baghel, he should have done better than that. It was understandable that he had to come out of his line, but with so many players of the opposition almost lurking around, he had to track back. And it's going to be another free kick. Alan Diaz, he was expecting that, the referee didn't really notice, and the free kick was taken quickly. And now another cross comes in. Once again, Paramjeet Baghel, he's out of his position, but now he's finally managed to go in. Cross floated in, but propelled away by GMSC. Chanmari suddenly looking a lot more dangerous than they were in the first half. Another cross dealt with by the GMSC defenders. Danger still not over. It's simply looming larger than ever for GMSC. They'll have to be careful about these short passes that they are playing amongst themselves, because Chanmari, they have deployed a high pressing brand of football in the second half, and they want more goals to themselves. That body language of theirs, that urgency of theirs will tell you. Another back pass. Apuya on the prowl. The goalkeeper will have to clear his lines. Look at how complicated he made it for himself. That back pass in the first place wasn't the right move. That itself kind of forced Paramjeet Baghel to get into a very uncomfortable corner, and from there he had to get it out. So he had to do something in order to reduce the risk factor. Throw in there. Back with Chanmari, decent footwork just in the nick of time, and looks like it's going to be another free kick here in favour of Chanmari. They have suddenly burst to life here, and GMSC is really having a tough time trying to keep them at bay. KC Malsom Sanga is possibly going to take that free kick. Will it be a right-footed outswinger, or will it be a left-footed in-swinger? That's the question. Possibly a right-footed outswinger intended for a player. Yes, it's going to be a right-footed outswinger. Well, he takes it along the carpet. Lal Rokima with another delicate ball in the box there. GMSC, can they capitalize? Not really. Chanmari, they have reclaimed possession for themselves. Now steers it further forward. GMSC twisting and turning along that right wing. They will need some help. Himanshu Patil kind of isolated. And despite all the fancy footwork, despite all his flair and tactical prowess, the numerical superiority got to him. Keegan Pereira is going to be the one with the throw-in, hoping for a long throw, trying to use this as a set piece. trying to induce a bit of chaos in the box there. But eventually results in a shorter throw in, and the cross comes in. The box eludes the player who was right in front of the goal now. Goes out of play. Going to be a throw in now in favor of Chanmari. Back to Chanmari again. Chanmari wanted to release that forward, not the ideal release that they were looking forward to. Again repelled away by Chanmari defenders. So that's good work. But eventually lost out on possession. A bit of a push, but keeps the ball under control and then eventually launches it into the box there. But there wasn't anyone who would have actually made any hay from that opportunity. GMSC still lots of work to be done. They will be hoping to find that opening goal in the first place, reduce the deficit, and create that platform for a turnaround of affairs out here in the City of Joy. Nice shot of square pass there. Now that's decent from GMSC. Looking for more numbers. Shannon Pereira. Shannon steers it towards the right to Shujal Ghanekar. There's a long cross in the box, trying to control that. Shooting chance, goes for it. But a pretty feeble effort there, straight into the hands of Sultan Moia. And Sultan, he won't have much troubles with that. There you go, nicely set up. And a very well struck shot, but kind of pretty straightforward in nature. So the positioning of Sultan Moia made it pretty easy for him to collect. Back to Chanmari, and they switch it to the left. Decent exchange amongst themselves. Lal Rohima scored an absolute screamer a few moments ago. Mapuya hoping to get hold of the ball, but eventually will lose out on possession at the expense of a throw-in. And a twin substitution loading up. Looks like it's going to be Manuel D'Souza and Kamran Atiq Ansari who will be making their way to the centre. And they are replacing the likes of Sujal Jitendra and Alan Joseph Diaz. Alan, who is one of the senior players, has been taken off. Couldn't really make much advantage for himself. It's a long throw in the box and a timely intervention there. There's the confirmation. Manuel D'Souza comes in. Now the question is, can Manuel and Kamran, they can create a ripple effect together. But nonetheless, at this point in time, they are under the pump. It's going to be a corner here for Chanmari FC. It's going to be KC Malsom Sangha once again to whip that corner in. Floated in the box, salutes everyone, and out of nowhere, a pretty half-hearted attempt took center stage from Chanmari FC. Thankful that it didn't have much of a telling effect. Chanmari FC once again, who are on the prowl, hoping to get hold of the ball in a dangerous juncture. That's a decent football from GMSC. From the right there, takes a deflection along the way, and that will go out for a throw-in. Good defending there from Chanmari defenders. It's going to be Siddharth Vishwanath Naik with the throw-in. Whether he takes it short or he goes for a long one, that will be an interesting call. Sends it into the box here, quite a long one. Just hoping for a bit of chaos, and a long ranger from range for GMSC. Not really working out there. It was their captain Keegan Pereira, but could have done better, could have placed it better. He had a bit more time for himself, so maybe a second touch wouldn't have really hurt him. But nonetheless, it is another chance that went begging. We are almost close to the hour mark, and as things stand, Chanmari FC have scored a couple of brilliant goals. The second one particularly, that was an absolute feather touch executed to the tee. And now the Chanmari comes from the left once again, trying to dodge their way into the centre. Here's another long ball, make it towards the far right. Here comes GMSC. Chanmari plays it further forward. Jay. A nice turn there, and I think it would have been better if he'd have gone for the shot all by himself instead of playing it forward, because that looked like a much better prospect than trying to find one of his players who had some decent grounds to cover. The prime. And every single time the ball has been in their own half, I think the kind of composure, the kind of calm that Chanmari has shown, I think that is what has set them different from GMSC. Now slightly making it a bit too difficult, and I reckon I spoke a bit too early there. Eventually Zoltan Moya clearing the lines. Somehow or the other, we are just into the 61st minute of the game, and it feels like GMSC, they are kind of exhausted. They are not really pressing hard for that ball. They will have to show that urgency. They are 2-0 down. So if they are allowing that much of space to Chanmari FC to sit in their own defensive half and play the ball amongst themselves, I think they will take this. Take a look at how there hasn't been any press whatsoever. Lalvin Charatuan. Let's clear it away. That has been intercepted, but that first touch was a letdown for Tanmay Salgaonkar. Nicely worked towards the right now. Good fall back for Chanmari once again. Himanshu Patil not really happy. It's quite obvious your team is trailing by 2-0 and you're unable to get your score boots on. And this is for the second time on the trot that GMSC is trailing against Chanmari FC. The last game was won by Chanmari as they secured a 1-0 victory, and now they may very well be on their way towards securing the first win of the I-League 3 playoffs. Their time right now. Jai Bhavnani, Jai plays it back. Jai once again on the ball, and Jai keep it under control. He's actually teed up one of his teammates, and before Himanshu would have controlled that, it was already taken care of. A bit of a heavy first touch there, and now Chanmari looking for a break here. Nicely teed off his teammate, but then it was kind of overstruck. Shannon Pereira. Shannon plays it forward to Siddharth. And Siddharth now goes for a long ball onto the right. Kind of a long chase altogether. Eventually does well to keep that in play. And now looking for a crossing chance. Here comes the cross. Couldn't really open up the scoring window. Yes, Chanmari FC. And that had a bit too much on the ball as it went out of play. So throw in favor of Chanmari once again. Keegan Pereira. He knows that his team has got work to do, but somehow or the other, it's mainly Chanmari FC who's shown the urgency in the second half. It has been a pretty aided second half for GMSC. They have barely created anything for themselves. Nice twist and turn around there. Good work, to be honest. Now the forward ball released. Taken care of. A bit of a push from the back. Now building all the way from the right. Slightly overpowered there, but it will find its intended play. Cutting in sharply. Referee says it's alright, get back up. That wasn't anything close to a spot kick. Now from the right, can he keep the ball in play? Not really. He had very little space ahead of himself. It was a Palash Barbar. Palash takes the throw in to Siddhant. Siddhant steers it much more central. Back with Keegan. Keegan sends it further forward. Trying to control that, sort of. A nice ball onto the right wing. Here comes the cross. But again, a pretty haywire and alright delivery, and I don't think it's going to create any kinds of doubt in the minds of the opposition. Those crosses will have to be much better. You won't create that inkling of a misgiving in your opposition's minds. You need to have a bit more precision, a bit more perfection. One step at a time there for GMSC, apologies. Now GMSC trying desperately to reach the Chanmari defense. Well, for a moment it felt like that he will win over the ball, but sadly enough he lost down on it. A bit of a backheader there, and again what could have been a chance for Himanshu Patil was shielded wonderfully by the body of the defender there. It was possibly their captain Lalvin Chanatocha. All the way back to Paramjit Baghel, and I think the second goal that was conceded, that had a bit of trouble from Paramjit Baghel himself. It's always said that when you have cleared the ball, when you've cleared the line for the first time, you have your opposition marauders around you, you have to track back at the earliest. If you start chasing the ball after, then it can be trouble. If you remember the ISL clash between Mohun Bagan Super Giants and Northeast United a few days ago, that had a similar example where the goalkeeper of Northeast United came out. He was fortunate that the ball didn't really fall at the feet of any of the Mohun Bagan Super Giants player in the 85th minute. But it's like a rudimentary, it's like a basic lesson. As a goalkeeper, if you have got your job done, you've got your area covered, you know you have your defenders in place, you have to track back at the earliest. You have to keep your goal line, your citadel protected at all costs. But Paramjit Baghel, he took a second longer than usual, and Lalro came out. What a clinical finish. No mistake done, picture perfect. And it wasn't exactly hammered home with power. A twin substitution that's being loaded out here. Looks like Vincent Lalduama and Joseph Lalvenhima will be going out, and they will be replaced by Panglalven Gante and Moses Lalrinzuala. Moses Lalrinzuala and Panglalven Gante, they came out in the center. Another long ball in the box, but that is not going to trouble Zoltan Moya. All the way back to Zoltan Moya once again. comfortably taken care of from the right there. Michael Alduatika falls back for GMSC. And I think that midfield of theirs for GMSC, that exactly hasn't been the smooth-oiled machine that it should be in order for them to pose some serious threats. That's a phenomenal ball onto the right. Here comes the cross and well defended by the captain, Keegan Pereira. He had to make that run of his count. It was mighty close there. Let's take a look at the substitution loading up. This time it's for GMSC. Looks like Palash Barbar. He's going to go out and he will be replaced by Rajendra Swain. Let's take a look at this move. A phenomenal release onto the right, and once again it was Moses, the substitute player who just arrived, came forward with a brilliant ball. Here's the corner taken and straight into the hands of Paramjit Baghel. Akuya was out there at the net, and that last instance could have actually been the goal scorer as well. Now slowly and steadily, Tanmay is trying to map out his options, trying to look for support. But again, take a look at the kind of pressing that has been done by Chanmari FC when GMSC had received the ball, and when GMSC actually had the opportunity to press, so they have allowed that free leeway to Chanmari. That's exactly what has made life extremely easy. Nonetheless, here's a corner for GMSC. Can they get that first goal in place? And it's going to be the water break before we take a look, or before we have the set piece executed. 71 minutes, so still 20 minutes of action remaining, still plenty of time remaining to flip the tide around, change the game, and eventually bring out some late, high-octane, thrilling, intense drama in front of all of us. In the first game, we saw how Abbas Union came back from behind to make it 1-1 and eventually share the spoils of what was a decent game of football between them and the Dalbir Football Academy. In this game, however, Chanmari FC, they definitely have been the favourable side. They have done a much better job. And as the players return to the yard, it's going to start. The game's going to restart with the corner in favour of GMSC. Another chance, another set piece for them to try and peg it into the back of the net. Keegan Pereira was involved in a wonderful clearance just moments ago. Had it not been for him, it could have been once again trouble brewing for GMSC. Keegan floats that in the box there, and could have been a better header, to be honest. GMSC will have to take these chances. And now from the left, it's Tanmay. Can Tanmay eventually penetrate? And once again, tempers flaring out there. The referee quick to rush, and Tanmay, he's explaining that he was actually taking kind of a very surprising push there, which was not needed. And yes, there you go. The friendly handshake scene in the spur of the moment. A lot of things like these happen. At the end of the day, what matters is that you eventually hug it down for just shake hands. Jai Bhavnani with the corner for GMSC. A chance for him as well to try and launch it into the box. A very flat corner taken. And despite being headed at the first post, that never really looked like that it was going to trouble. It was Himanshu Patil who was at the receiving end of the ball, could have done better. But nonetheless, he never had the angle in his favour. It was always going to be a tough one to try and squeeze one through that much of a space. That's one of the best of headers either. It's going to be a throw in here in favor of Chanmari FC. However, looks like Siddharth Naik, he's down on the ground, and he possibly has had a bit of has a bit of a cramp. Good to see that he's back on his feet. Cramps are extremely normal. The kind of heat that we have right now, you will expect to see them over and over again. Free kick in favor of GMSC. Just to give you all a quick heads up, it's 27 degrees centigrade in Kalyani. However, feels like 33, and there's a heat wave in motion as well. There's a 50% chance of showers, but the humidity is 92%. So that kind of tells you a story or two about the cramps and the sudden stoppages that we are witnessing here. Also got a feel for the players. It's not easy for them plying their trade in such heat and such humidity. That's good goalkeeping, to be honest, from Paramjit Baghel. He came out of his line and cleared his lines. Could have been slightly risky considering the kind of urgency that was shown by the Chanmari FC players. Another back pass that goes all the way to Paramjit, and Paramjit slowly and steadily shuffling it out to the right. Paramjit sends it downtown. And Chanmari now trying to speed through that central channel. This can be a lovely chance. He sets it up for the player on the left. Another incredible setup for the player on the right. Mapuya is it. Mapuya squares off his teammate in the central channel. But then he couldn't really get the positioning that he was looking forward to. Another incredible setup. It was Mapuya who engineered the opening goal. And once again trying to create something similar. And yes, we were talking about the humidity a few moments ago. Once again, players struggling vehemently with the cramps and each other supporting themselves. You can see how Shannon Pereira, he was helping out his opposition. And a quick look at that first goal, the setup there from Mapuya. Took a deflection, yes, and a picture perfect finish coming in from KC Malsong Sangha. That turn there from Mapuya, that was venomous. And KC Malsong Sangha, he wasn't going to miss out on that. And Lalro Kima, no matter how many words we talk about this goal, that should not suffice. The sheer brilliance, the sheer precision on that trip, that was delightful, that was delectable, to be honest. 12 minutes of regulation time, 12 and a half minutes of regulation time remaining out here in the Kalyani Stadium. Going to be another process of a long throw there. It's going to be Siddharth Vinayak with the throw. Siddharth launches it into the box there, and GMSC latch onto it. They're still fighting for possession. They eventually get it at their feet. Here's a cross from Siddharth. He landed into the box there, and Chanmari, they have cleared their lines. Not for long though. Back to GMSC again. And here comes Chanmari. They have a bit of space going forward. And a push out there, which means a free kick at a pretty decent chancha. It's going to be a booking as well for Himanshu Patil. Yes, that's a confirmation. Himanshu Patil, the leading goal scorer of the tournament, with 6 goals. he's had a bad day in office. And this can be another of those chances for Chanmari. It's going to be Ephraim with the free kick. And Ephraim flipped that in. A lovely free kick, to be honest, but that won't really bother Paramjit Baghel. He was in an excellent position, collected that without any trouble whatsoever, but definitely was a palm stinger. Nicely kept it under control there. Loses out possession. And again, tempers flaring out. I think Siddharth Naik just telling the opposition coach, Lalsang Zuala Hamar, that you don't need to get involved in this, we understand. And a yellow card being shown as well. We'll quickly confirm who was it who was given the yellow card. In fact, it looks like it has been handed over to Shannon Pereira for the foul there. It was quite a robust one. So that was quite a physical tackle indeed. There you go, almost rammed into him. Head-on collision. And there you go, the confirmation. Shannon Pereira taken into the book of Jairul Islam. 9 minutes of regulation time, and I reckon there will be quite a few minutes of added time which will be awarded, because in the second half there have been frequent stoppages. Siddharth will throw in. Keegan Pereira plays it to the left. Manuel de Souza. Manuel plays it to Jay. And Chanmari, I think they will try and get the ball out of their danger lines, out of their own half as much as they can, because that is what will allow them. Well, that's a cheap giveaway. And again, a bit of a rush there for Chanmari FC. Nicely tested into the stride of the player on the far right. It was Moses who was trying to get himself in control of the possession on that occasion, but then kind of pushed the panic button a bit too early. Eka. Lalruat Eka was the man with the throw. All the way back to Sultan Moia once again. It's another long ball played and nicely intercepted by GMSC. GMSC still has a lot of work to do. And the referee blowing the whistle on this occasion. Keegan Pereira stepping forward with the ball. Keegan steers it towards the left. Manuel de Souza. And a nice bit of setup for Jay Bhavnani. Jay plays it to Siddharth. Siddharth plays it forward. Flag has stayed down. Once again, another ball onto the right. Another cross, but a distended one. And that will balloon over the woodwork. So another chance goes begging. And I think this is the problem. This has been the problem of GMSC. It's not that they have had a bad day entirely. They have actually done well to create those chances, take the ball towards the wings out there, kind of set the trails ablaze. But the problem has been that that finishing touch, the final touch, that has been so out of whack. That is what has actually forced them. And a few smiles as well exchanged between the player Shannon Pereira, who was just taken into the book a few moments ago. He has a smile too, nicely having a chat with the opposition teammates. And as we said, as we pointed out, it's extremely hot and humid with a 50% chance of precipitation. That's a 50% chance of rain later in the day. It may have been overcast and gloomy, but it didn't really pour. There was a light drizzle in the morning fixture, but that is that. No heavy showers, no torrential downpours, which is always a good sign, because then, I mean, yes, we know that football can be also played under the rains, but then what happens in that occasion is that all strategies, all technicalities, that goes out of the window. And a couple of changes for Chanmari FC. Lal Rokima and KC Malsong Sanga, the two goal scorers, they have made their way out. And to take their place, it's going to be K Lalman Ikima and J Lalruan Sanga. Just introducing a couple of fresh feet in the mix there, hoping to keep their opposition on their toes, because even Chanmari knows that if they allow even a whiff of slacking to their counterparts, GMSC will not hesitate. They will come, they will pounce upon whatsoever has been granted to them. Nicely done. Still trying to control that. However, Chanmari takes care of that. Back to the Chanmari players once again. Decent work through that central channel. Again, knitted towards the far right. Moses runs into a bit of traffic against Manuel. And Manuel takes care of it, plays it to Jay. Jay plays it to Keegan. Keegan to Paramjeet again. And Paramjeet, he's again inviting trouble for himself. Mapuya, he snatched the ball. Can be trouble brewing on the horizon. And again, a second earlier, and it could have been a different story altogether. We have been talking about this, complicating the equation for themselves. Let's take a look. It was a fine bit of move altogether, and K. Lalrua Dika, he almost created that opportunity to try and find the third goal and put the game to bed once and for all. Here comes the corner, but straight into the hands of Paramjeet Baghel, and that will be taken care of. Back with GMSC, there is a bit of space as well ahead of them, but eventually they'll turn around. Tanmay, short passes being played now. Manuel, Shannon Pereira, Shannon steers it to Coogan. Shannon's gone down, but they don't have the luxury of waiting right now. 87 minutes already. Another long ball forward. And a long ranger attempted, but a very emasculated and a lackluster one going out of play. And Himanshu Patel, I think he has been extremely frustrated today. The way he has been contained by Lalrinchana Tochang, it's been delightful, to be honest. And football, like the way it can be a beautiful game, like the way it can be rewarding, similarly it can also be agonizing as well. It can be cruel as well. Another yellow card being shown. A bit of a verbal exchange going on, I reckon, between him and Himanshu Patel. And the referee, he's actually conducted the game with an iron fist. He's not let the game out of his hand even for a solitary second. That's quality referee. Should be told IFA. Apologies, AIFF, they've done a phenomenal job. They're giving this platform to the youngsters, showcasing it to the globe. Everyone who can watch this game on the official YouTube channel of All India Football Federation, AIFF. This is also a massive catalyst for these youngsters to showcase their talent as well, to showcase that they are getting ready for the bigger leagues. Leagues like this has eventually gave birth, has eventually begotten countless superstars of the offing. So possibly We may have a few more as well stepping up. And a quick confirmation. K. Lalmang Ikima was shown the yellow card a few moments ago. And the referee awarding a free kick here to GMSC. Again, I think this has been a pretty decent game. And the players, it's understandable that GMSC, they will be slightly frustrated. They won't really be delighted with the kind of result that they have right now. But truth be told, it is their own making. They haven't been categorical when it comes to the final third. They have lacked, they have slouched. And a red card has been shown. Extremely unfortunate. 5 minutes of added time has also been added. And now we are witnessing some unfortunate drama out there. It has been a long time coming. The game has turned physical, looks like. And it's Shannon Pereira who has been taken, or who has been given the marching orders. And another yellow card will be shown as well. And another red card. So it's a red card for both the teams. Surprisingly enough, Shannon Pereira has been given the marching orders, and so has been K. Lalman Ikima. He just picked a yellow card a few moments ago, and he's gotten a second yellow as well. Yeah, that was so not needed. That was definitely not needed. I think he clearly had the ball under control. So 2 red cards being shown to one player each. Shannon Pereira walking out from GMSC, and then K. Lalmang Ikima also given the marching orders for Chanmari FC. And now Chanmari coming out all the way from the right. Decent defending, but do they have it in control? A long ball sent towards the far right. Referee once again blowing the whistle. This time a free kick in favor of Chanmari. It's going to be Zotan Mawia with the free kick, and nicely taken care of by the defenders. Chanmari now definitely, they'll be happy with how things have proceeded. They know they have a 2-goal cushion. They have played well enough. A bit of an unfortunate incident towards the end. A twin red card. This is not really anticipated, but then the referee from the right, can GMSC eventually find a goal here? Something as a consolation. Another crossfield ball, and nicely intercepted again. Decent work from Manuel D'Souza. Both the teams playing with 10 players each. Makuya squares off his teammate. Nice bit of twist and turn. Final 90 seconds of the game coming up. And Chanmari, they are comfortable. They don't have much to worry about. They have that lead. They have the insurance goal as well. Chested down. Will go straight into the hands of Paramjeet Baghel. Paramjeet rolls it towards the right. Still 60 seconds of action remaining. Do we have a late goal? Do we have a bit more drama? And that will be out of play as well. It's going to be a throw-in. Siddharth Naik. Siddharth to Keegan. Keegan launches the ball in the box there. And he wanted to steer that. Not really sure whom he was hoping to get the ball for. There wasn't any player from GMSC to actually latch onto. So it just went all the way to Zoltan Moia, who made no fuss in wrapping his gloves around the ball. And Chanmari FC, they may just find the third as well, but a timely intervention, but nonetheless it's a corner. So there's still an opportunity. Manuel, he isn't exactly happy. I think he's not happy with his own defense. He's telling them that you got to do better closing down. You got to plug the gaps. 5 minutes of extra time has been exhausted. One last set piece, one last roll of the dice. It's going to be Moses Lalrinzuala. Makes it short. Mapuia. And the referee awarding a free kick in favor of GMSC. Not the kind of outing that GMSC was expecting to have. They will need to do some catching up. They will have to go back to the drawing board. They'll have to talk about their strategies. They will have to figure out their own chances and come forward stronger in the next game. From the left, GMSC, and once again denied any shy at penetration whatsoever by Chanmari FC. And it's Siddharth Naik with the throw-in, a long throw possibly. Just the extension of those 5 minutes because there was a bit of stoppage. And that goes out of play as well. Looks like it's going to be another corner, so it's still not over. Another shy, another bite at the cherry is what Chanmari FC will have. A potential chance to get a consolation striker. And they utilize that though. Keegan Pereira. Keegan curls that in the mix. And that should be game, set, match for Chanmari FC. They have secured the bragging rights emphatically by 2-0. And GMSC, despite a good start to the game, they fell short in the end, and it wasn't enough for them to eventually secure any point. They will try and come back stronger. A quick look at the statistics. Chanmari with 61% ball possession, 8 shots taken by them, 2 of them on target, 3 shots taken by GMSC, 1 of them on target, 5 corners for GMSC, 2 of them for CFC, and 1 offside for Chanmari as well. 4 saves by the GMSC goalkeeper, 1 save by the Chanmari goalkeeper, 7 fouls for GMSC, 6 fouls for Chanmari Football Club, and 1 red card apiece to both the teams. Now try and show you highlights of what has been an entertaining affair. This is how it all started. A lovely ball from the left came floating in. And it was not once but twice. And then GMSC trying their luck from range. And this was another phenomenal chance created by Chanmari. A couple of long ranges going haywire altogether. Could have been better. And then this opening goal. A phenomenal strike. Mapuia teeing it off with picture perfect precision. And no mistake made by jersey number 27. And then this was another phenomenal finish by Lal Rokima. The way he placed it, spotting the goalkeeper, spotting Paramjeet out of his line. And all he had to do was just delicately chip it. But then chips like that, it needs a lot more precision. Another long ranger came in, but it was along the carpet, and the positioning of Zotan Moya went straight into his hands. That was another phenomenal chance created, a lovely setup. But Keegan Pereira coming to the deliverance of his side. Mapuya with another fine creation, another fine opportunity, but denied, and that was a sensational free kick straight into the hands of Paramjeet Bagel. And Mapuya, he was actually instrumental. He came knocking on the doors over and over again, the way he used the left wing and the right wing before the final whistle of the referee was blown. And at the end of 90 minutes, Chanmari FC won the game by 2-0 against MYJ GMSC. KC Malsom Sangha opened the scoring and Lal Rokima scored the second. And that is all from today's fixture. Thank you everyone for joining in. We will say tata, bye-bye for today. However, tomorrow we'll return with two more matches and intriguing ones for I-League 3. Thank you everyone.